what works. In other words, if they go out and do a joke and people laugh, then they do more of that kind of joke. But if they go out and they do a joke and people don't laugh, then they do a lot less of that kind of joke. So, in a sense, a comedian's style is built up by the interaction between the comedian and the audience, you see. And what I noticed right at the start is that the people in charge are always scared of the hard-edged joke. When I started working in radio, the producer would always look at the script I'd written. He'd say, "Oh, John, I don't think we should do that joke." And I would say to him, "Well, can we just do it? And if it doesn't go down well when we record it, we just edit it out before it's transmitted. But let's at least try it." And what I discovered was, 9 times out of 10, the audience liked this kind of hard-edged humour. So it encouraged me, you see, to go ahead with it, with a sort of edgier and sometimes perhaps more truthful type of humour. But I have to admit there is a third reason why I like this kind of humour so much, and it's a sort of analytic or psychoanalytic reason, and it goes back to my relationship with my mother. Now, as you probably already gathered, our relationship was not an easy one. I always used to say there were only 2 things that my mother and I had in common. The first was that we were both not raised by wolves. The second was that we both had this very black sense of humour. Now, my mother was obviously a very depressed woman, because people who were very anxious and permanently scared about everything are usually was always depressed too. And our conversations on the telephone would go like this. I always made the call, and I would ring her up and I'd say, "Oh, hello, Mum, it's John." And she'd say, "Oh, hello, John, how are you?" And I'd say, "I'm fine, Mother, how are you?" And she would say, always with a hint of surprise, she would say, "Well, I'm a little bit down this week." And I don't know why she was surprised, because she was a little bit down this week for 50 fucking years. So she'd start telling me all the things that were making her miserable, and very frequently I'd finish up the conversation more depressed than she was. I mean, it was distressing. And one day, inspiration struck. She was carefully listing all the reasons that she didn't want to go on living. And I suddenly heard myself say, "Mother, I have an idea." And she said, "Oh, what's that?" And I said, "I know a little man who lives in Fulham. And if you're still feeling this way next week, I could give him a call, if you like, and then he would come down to Western Supermare and kill you." With laughter, you see. It was a major breakthrough, because from then on, any time she started saying how unhappy she was, I'd listen for a couple of minutes, of course I would. And then I would say, "Well, should I give the little man in front of the call?" And she'd laugh. She would completely change her mood. She'd say, no. She'd say things like, "No, I've got a sherry party this week." The single most creative act that I ever accomplished, and it relied on this very black sense of humour that we had. On another occasion, well, actually, it wasn't on one occasion, she was always saying to me, "You'll miss me without God." She told me that throughout her life. "You'll miss me without God." And who knows, one day she may be proved right.